Hi. So, when I was young, I used to say, life sucks and then you die. Of course, at the same time, this was when I was still going through the whole growing up thing physically and mentally. My brain was still developing, my body was still developing. But I'd say, life sucks and then you die, or something like that. It was a very negative outlook. Kind of like maybe how this tree feels. I don't know if I've got it framed correctly, so let me just take a look here. You got that tree kind of leaning over like that. Well, it seemed like my life was like that. Just not the way I wanted it to be. I wasn't a terrible person. I wasn't a great person. I was confused. A lot of emotions, just like most teenagers and young adults do. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough guidance in preparing for this phase of my life. I mean, my parents, sure, they gave me a book about puberty and stuff, but that didn't really tell me what I needed to know. It didn't tell me about all the weird feelings and how at some point my hormones could really get control of me and make me do regrettable things. But yeah, between the different things that had happened in my youth, which included struggles with trying to figure out where God was in terms of religion, and my parents' divorce, and some molestation that I had endured, and problems with my after my dad got remarried, and my own mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. It sucked. It sucked, and instead of having the resources to know that I could develop an attitude that would help carry me through things and make it easier for me, I didn't have that. And it really, I mean, I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's that I didn't pay enough attention to the positive messages that I was given, or if they just weren't there, or if I was overwhelmed. All I can tell you is I developed a negative attitude, fostered by the depression that I suffered, especially in my mid to late teens and into my 20s. It made it really hard to look at things positively. I mean, yes, there were times when I could be very positive, but unfortunately, I tended to whine, complain a lot about what was wrong with my life. It, friends have sympathy for a while, but they get tired of hearing it after a while. There's only so much you can listen to with a person whining and making excuses for their own mistakes instead of owning up and moving forward. So, I spent a lot of my life struggling with that. And over time, it's improved. The last couple years, I guess it is, I've been working more on trying to improve my attitude. It was hard after my wife died and had to flee the country of Indonesia. But eventually I realized I'd fallen back into that trap of not owning responsibility for my own choices, my own actions, and being too much of a complainer about things that weren't going right in my life instead of focusing on the things that were good in my life. And that resulted in trouble, bad decisions. Wasn't all my fault, but certainly my attitude, my behavior played a part. So I'd like to suggest to you, if you're struggling in your life, if you're trying to find a way to make your life better and more meaningful, or if you're just tired of everything going sideways, going wrong, you might want to take a look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. And this is going to be painful, mentally, not physically. It's going to be painful because you're going to have to look at yourself honestly and decide what you're doing wrong. Decide what your moral compass is, if you have one. Yes. Psychopaths don't have a moral compass. But maybe you do. And you need to decide what it is, and you need to decide to stick to it. Don't use it when it's just convenient. That's what religion is. I mean, people use religion when it's convenient, and when it's inconvenient, they just turn their head and ignore it. Decide what your personal beliefs are going to be that guide you in making decisions. And be careful. If you make the wrong choices, if you can't fully commit yourself to the choices you've made, you will reap the consequences. And they could be rewards, but they could just be more suffering. So, like, for example, you decide, well, my goal is to earn lots of money. So you get yourself into a sales position. And in the sales position, you are forced, basically, by your own decisions and pressure from your leadership to lie about things, to equivocate, to mislead. If that is something that goes against your basic moral makeup, you will pay the price because you will punish yourself for doing that. So make sure that whatever it is you're doing it with a clear conscience. Make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you're not doing things that go against what you believe in. And I know this is going to, maybe this sounds stupid. I've had plenty of people told me, well, in the business world, you can't do that. And you know what I say to that, don't you? Bullshit. You can do it. And the reason it's hard to do it is because so many people give in instead of standing up for what they believe is right. Or even just standing up for what is legal. I've had people I thought for sure would back me up on my belief that you have to do what is right, even in the workplace. And they said, nope. So the world is sick because people decide that, well, if I'm in church, I'm going to be a good Christian, or if I'm in temple, I'll be a good Jew. If I'm in the mosque, I'll be a good Muslim. And at home, I'll follow my own preferences, and at work, I'll follow the preferences of my boss. And if that means I have to be amoral or immoral, I guess that's what I have to do to earn a buck, to take care of my family. No, that's not correct. The reason the world is so screwed up, to a large degree, is because of this whole attitude of, I'll use my religion when it's convenient, I'll have my own morals at home, and I'll have my boss's morals at work. That means you're at least 3 different people. No wonder the world's screwed up. No wonder kids don't have faith in their parents, don't trust their parents, and deceive their parents. Isn't it obvious? If you're going to lie to yourself and you're going to lie to the people around you, you're going to trick people and stuff to get what you want out of life, do you really think your kids are going to be willing to take a better path than you? If you're too weak, if you're too lazy, if you're too scared, if you're too confused, or whatever the reason is, to stand up for what's right, do you think they will? Or do you think they're going to follow in your footsteps? Or maybe they won't follow in your footsteps, but they'll be so disgusted with you for being a moral wimp that they won't want to have much to do with you. I guess you're going to have to figure that one out. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying this. If you make the choice to behave in the way that you think is right at work, Now, assuming you're not breaking any laws here, okay? I'm not talking about breaking any laws or anything like that. If your life is lived in alignment with what you believe is right. Again, psychopaths don't count because they've suppressed their emotions to the point where they don't know what their emotions are except for rage. And they don't have the morality that the rest of us use, and which isn't even consistent from person to person. I'm talking about the rest of the people, what the psychopaths call emos, the emotional people. If you're an emo and you live your life the way you believe is right, you're going to feel good about yourself every day. Your life may not always be easy. It may not always be comfortable. Sometimes it may be downright difficult. But you will know at the end of the day, when you go to bed, that you tried your best to do the right thing. That you did not consistently fail to be who you believe you should be. That's powerful. That gives you, in your own mind, dealing with yourself, it gives you the moral high ground. It gives you the ability to feel good about yourself, and it also turns you into a role model for others. I know there are going to be some ruthless people who say, bah, this is dumb. This guy's an idiot. Well, that's their choice. If they want to think I'm an idiot, that's okay. That's their choice. I'm just trying to share with you what I've learned. So please, give it some thought. Think about what you believe is right, and use that in all aspects of your life. At work, at home, at school, with your friends, with your partner, whatever it is. I guarantee it'll make a difference. People will notice. Don't let the ones who are struggling with their own immoral behavior or amoral behavior drag you down to their level. Because some of them will try. They'll look at you and they'll be like, that makes me really uncomfortable, seeing this person being so morally upright. Or if you prefer the word ethically, that's fine too. They will, some of them, try to drag you down to their level. They'll try to entice you. They'll try to badger you. They'll try to dare you. They'll try to belittle you. They'll try to anger you. They'll try to do different things because they're all messed up. And they don't like to be reminded that they're messed up, and they're not ready to make the changes they need to make. The sooner you're ready, the sooner you get started, the easier it's going to be for you to live your life the right way. So why not make it today? Why not start by smiling, being grateful for the things you've got, and instead of saying, oh, I had a terrible day, separate it out. You know, if you're living in a war zone where there are bombs going off all the time and people are shooting other people all the time, you may have a bit of a challenge doing that. But there are moments that you can grasp onto, things you can grasp onto and say, I'm so grateful for these things. And if you're not in a war zone, if you're not in a horrible place, you probably have way more good moments in your life than you are recognizing. That's what I did. I focused too much on the negative. Focus on the positive. Acknowledge your responsibility for your mistakes. Take action to correct your mistakes. And be grateful. A little smile every now and then won't help. Oh, sorry, it will help. And hey, but while you're at it, do some mindfulness. You know what the fun word for meditation. And it's basically the idea that, okay, I'll have to make another video, but I'll explain it, okay? Give it a try. Don't give up. Keep trying. And I guarantee you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be like Thomas Edison or Alexander Graham Bell or any other famous inventor or innovator. You're going to try and fail and fail and fail and fail, but you keep on trying. Try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, again and again and again until you get it right. And then you will experience success. But then you'll fail. And you'll try again and fail, try again. The more you do it, the more successful. It's like learning something, anything new. It's like learning to ride a bike. Maybe the first time you rode a bike, you fell down. Maybe the second time and the third time and the fourth time and the fifth time, and you get scabs and scratches and scrapes and you cried and stuff, but you kept on trying, and now you can ride a bike. In fact, you may be really great at it. I'm not. I can ride a bike, but I'm not great at it. Just give it a try. Commit to it. 30 days, 60 days. You know, I had this thing where I decided to try and enjoy mornings, and the first day was all it took. It was easy. That's one of the easy challenges. Start with something easy. Build up your confidence that you can do things. Don't start with the hardest things right away. Start with the easiest things first. Okay? Bye.